Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire Service. Let's talk with a young lady who has gotten a little bit older, but boy, she's still darn competitive and a heck of an athlete. April Fronzoni Bertin joining us right now. And April, you returned to the area, your hometown roots, as you're living in Michigan right now, and decided, hey, let me go out for a run, and you ended up winning the Pauly Friedman 5K.
Yeah, actually, we were in Ocean City, Maryland, vacationing with the family, and I had been following and tracking some races around town, and I thought, you know what, this might be a good one to try. So that morning, I woke up and told my mom, hey, I'm going to go up. So her, the kids, and I went up. I registered about a half hour before the race started, and sure enough, the weather was great. I felt great, and yeah, I was the first one to cross the finish line that day, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, beat the guys as well. So overall, as a 35-year-old mom of three, that's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Well, talk about the race. How kind of it unfolded for you?
Well, like I said, the weather was great, and my mom actually works up at Misericordia, so I showed her the map, and I said, okay, this is where we're supposed to go. So we kind of discussed it, and she actually sent me to the left instead of the right. And they're like, no, to the right. And she felt bad after, but I said, Mom, don't worry, it didn't cost me anything. But I trailed for a little bit, but I actually like to be trailing because I like to kind of look at people and see, as a competitor that I am, see who I could, try to catch up to and pick off. And there was this young man ahead of me, and I knew it was now or never, so I turned it on and I passed him, and I probably had about a little over a mile left, and I knew he's going to see me passing him and he's not going to be happy, and I knew I couldn't let him pass me again. So I just kind of kicked it into gear and finished strong, and like you said, I was able to be the first male or female to cross the line that day, which was pretty cool to have my mom and my kids there to see it.
Of course, we go back to the day of being an incredible field hockey player from northeastern Pennsylvania at the University of Michigan, playing with the United States team. Talk about your whole experiences with field hockey.
Oh, I had great experiences. Wonderful experience at Valley West with Coach Fifth and Coach Webb, and on to Michigan, where I was a member of the first ever women's national championship team in 2001. And had a great career there. And then I was fortunate enough to continue on after Michigan and play with the U.S. national team through 2 Olympic cycles, 04 and 08, and, traveled the country and the world. And it was really, really, really great to be able to represent my country, through the sport that I fell in love with so many years ago. And then, once that was over, I thought, okay, I'm going to hang it up, and ended up moving to Evanston, Illinois, and catching back up with my boyfriend, who was in real estate and an assistant wrestling coach at Northwestern. And I coached at Northwestern for 3 years before we ended up finding our way back to Ann Arbor, Michigan. And
you got an interesting story about your husband, who was just a friend at one time. Take us back to the good old Michigan days.
Oh, how about it? Yeah, my husband Ryan and I were friends from the first moment we walked on campus in 2000. He was, like I said, a wrestler for Michigan, and he actually won 2 NCAA national championship titles himself in 03 and 05. But, we were focused on, our goals and our things there. So we just remained friends throughout school. And then, after we were both done competing, we ended up starting to date. And actually, we're long distance right from the get-go, because I went back and played with the national team. He went to Chicago, and I was in Virginia Beach and then California. And, we remained close and together and figured it out through that period. And then when I was done, reconnected, got back, in the same city, and got married in 2010 and welcomed our first son and our first child, Henry, in November of 2011. Henry's 5 now. Then we had Olivia, she's 3, and sweet Lily is 1. So our hands are full, but our hearts are definitely fuller, and it's been a blessing from day one. And, as you can see, we're slightly a competitive family.
Boy, oh boy, those kids, I'll tell you, the couple-time national champ wrestler and, world-class athlete like yourself in field hockey, there's some good genes there with those 3 kids.
Yeah, we hope so. And you know what? Everyone says that, but what we want is just our kids to be healthy and happy, and if sports are not their thing, whatever they decide to get involved with, all we want them to do is do it with, everything they got and put their whole heart and soul into it. So if Henry wants to be a musician, I will be right there in the front row watching him perform.
I'm sure he'll be the best musician around, that's for sure, as both you and your husband just have that knack about you to push yourselves. But you also like to do some things for great causes, and this run that you're thinking about coming up this weekend, and of course last weekend as well, always trying to reach out and be a part of your community.
I am, and I really got into that after I hung up the field hockey stick and knew that my playing days were over. I am a competitor, and I do like to, be the best that I can be. And I actually, for a little while, was missing that, and I wasn't sure what was going to fill that void. And I decided that I was going to run the Chicago Marathon just to check it off the bucket list. One marathon, done, because I was never a distance runner. Sprinting was my thing. I could run super, super fast for a short distance, and then I was done. But I thought, you know what? It's now or never. So I signed up for Chicago, and sure enough, I just fell in love with running. I love to just go out for, just an hour a day to kind of just focus on myself, because, I'm tending to the kids or making sure everybody's organized and set. And as I say, okay, I've just saved your life today from, falling off that step, and got to make lunches and naps and bedtime and all the things that I love to do. But for that 1 hour, I just get to go out and I get to focus on myself. And because of that, it kind of then sparked a new passion. And I find myself being a better mother, a better wife, a better daughter and friend. And in turn, I'm staying active and creating a healthy lifestyle, not only for myself, but my family. And I hope that through this, I could inspire, my children and others to be the best versions of themselves, and that hard work and dedication, anything is possible. And because I'm going out and running these races now, I get to also help and support great people and great causes, which I am a huge sucker for. I absolutely love it. And I've been having a fantastic time, running these races for charities, for causes. I qualified through Chicago for the Boston Marathon in April, and what an experience that was. I thought, again, I just was doing that one marathon, but this passion has really just taken off to new heights, and it's been fun. And I'm hopefully finishing up my marathon debuts by running Chicago in October. I was asked to be a member of the Chad Tuff Foundation marathon team. Chad Carr was actually the grandson of a former Michigan football coach, Lloyd Carr, who passed away at the age of 5 from DIPG. It's a form of pediatric brain cancer. So like I said, I was like, okay, 2 marathons in 1 year, I'm not sure, but how can you not? I mean, it's for a great cause, and it's close to home because I have young children. Obviously, I'm a Michigan woman, and that's a really big pull for me. So I'm going to be going out, and I'm going to be running another 26.2 for, a great cause and great people, and I can't wait. And it's just been fun, and I love, hopefully just inspiring at least one person to go out and see that anything is possible, and they can just do whatever they want if they just set their mind to it. So it's been fun. Lots of fun.
Well, that passion is coming through right now, and always a competitor. Always great to hear. It's never too late to start, whether you're, like you said, 35 or 45 or 55. You could get going and do something again, and you have that thing that drives you, and you still have some coaching that drives you there in Michigan. Talk about still coaching field hockey.
How about it? Again, I thought once I was done, I wasn't coaching again. We moved back to Ann Arbor, and sure enough, I'm back in the coaching world again. I'm at Pioneer High School, which is a stone's throw away from my house, and I'm going on my 5th year, and we actually have won 3 state championship titles, and so we're going to go for our 4th, and we're going to see if we can get 4 in a row. But it's incredible. The girls that I'm around, that I get to coach each and every day, inspire me, and they keep me coming back, because it gets busy. It gets really busy to try to juggle the house and the kids and practice and all that jazz, but I wouldn't have it any other way. When I'm sitting around it's just too still for me. So on the go is the lifestyle I like to live, and it's just been fantastic.
And you talk about your family back home here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Of course, your mom, you said you're down there at the beach with her, and your dad's still a field hockey nut. He's still helping out over at Wyoming Valley West. So you got a lot of a great support system here in northeastern Pennsylvania still.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My mom actually she's hooked on fitness now too, so she's running 5Ks. She's going to run that Chris Knowles 5K this Saturday with me, which is fantastic. And my dad, yeah, he can't get out. He's helping at Valley West with Fifth and Webb, and he absolutely loves it. I actually tried to get them to move out to Michigan, and I said, come on, Dad, you can join my staff. And he's like, nope, no way. I'm with Fifth and Webb and Valley West to the end. So he's loving it. The girls love him. They call him Big John, or maybe they now switched to Coach John, but I tried to get the Big John in there. But he absolutely loves to be around the sport and loves giving back. So he's in his glory.
Now that you've been across the country and coached at the college level, the high school level, traveled as a participant for the U.S. national team, I think you still know in your heart there's still a lot of great field hockey here in northeastern Pennsylvania. It's still pretty strong, huh?
Oh, Pennsylvania is a hotbed, and it always will be a hotbed. And it's funny being out in Michigan. Everyone's like, "Where did you grow up?" I'm like, Larksville, Pennsylvania. They're like, that is just some incredible hockey there. How do they do it? What are they doing there? And I just keep telling them that it's the coaches, it's the athletes, and it's just the mentality around here. It's, you put the work in, you get the work out. And that's what the Wyoming Valley and northeastern Pennsylvania field hockey is all about. You put the work in, you see the reward, and it is hot here for field hockey, and it'll continue to be. And I just hope, I try to bring my field hockey Pennsylvania roots out to Michigan to help them get to the next level, and it's been working okay so far. I hope I can continue to give them some knowledge to go to the next level.
Talk about your husband Ryan and him again being a two-time national champ in wrestling. He's got to get a little fired up about this running thing that you're doing.
Oh yeah, once a competitor, always a competitor. Like I said, I kind of sparked a little fire under his butt because he's usually the runner. And so when I come back and I'm like, hey, check this out, he's like, oh no, I got to get back out there. But yeah, he actually just started his own real estate company, Axiom Advisory Group. So he's kind of busy and tied up with that. So I said, you could have a pass. You're focusing on that, building our future, which is great. Just let me have one thing, because you always throw in my face those 2 national championships that you have to my 1. So I just kind of like to rub him a little bit that I'm just getting him back for him having 2 national championships right now.
April Fronzoni Bertin giving us some great stuff about her family. Of course, your 3 children and running in some local races. You'll be doing it again this weekend. We appreciate your time. So great to catch up with you, and continued success with field hockey, with your long distance running, your husband's new business, and of course that wonderful family of yours, a young family. Okay?
Awesome. Thanks so much, John. It was great to catch up.
April Fronzoni Bertin here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire Service.